Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for staying tuned, and again, just thank you for everything, everyone. As you've seen, if you watched the last short, we're going to just try and talk about Job chapter 10 verses 10 through 12. I am reading out of the New International Version, the NIV. So I'm going to read the chapter and we'll try and do a little discussion on it. Chapter 10, verses 10 through 12. Did you not pour me out like milk, and curdle me like cheese? Clothe me with skin and flesh, and knit me together with bones and sinews. You gave me life, and showed me kindness, and in your providence washed over my spirit. So I want y'all to think, what do you think that means to y'all? You know, Job, there's a lot to Job like any other book. So if we just go off these verses, I think this is what Job is trying to think in his personal life when he, discussing with his friends, and he was kind of angry at God. Because we know in the beginning of Job, that's when God actually allowed the devil to test Job, because God already knew how strong Job was going to be, right? So he's asking, did you not pour me out like milk? When you're poured out like milk, I first want to almost go back to like when we're in our mother's womb, in your mom's womb, like you're first being born. God is giving you your mom and dad to create you. You're already watching over our spirit. So I believe our spirits, yes, we are bodies with spirits, and we get to experience this life, right, wrong, and different, angry, mad, sad, happy, crying, different clothes. That's sometimes one of the biggest blessings within itself before chasing any version of success, that our spirits are out there in the universe. No matter what that may look like for you or how you believe or raised. There you go. There's another topic way down the road. We got a lot to go on this channel, and we got a long road ahead of us. But think about it, that's a blessing. We're in the universe. Our spirits are out there. We could just be a star, right? Maybe once, as God, in the beginning was creating the world, He's already got us lined up there from day one. From day one, He already knew you were going to be born. So think about it. Like, He already knew it. He poured you out like milk. And you curdled me like cheese. So we're curdling, right? We're in our mother's womb. We're like curdled cheese. All our pieces, the eyes and the body is coming together, right? It's kind of weird to think about. That's kind of how I think about it. I don't know about y'all. Like curdled cheese, our body is in like a little ball, like, right? And He knit you together with bones and sinews. So I'm not real familiar with the term sinews, so I'd have to Google and look that up. But we were knit together. Think about it. We were created in God's image. And yes, we all know, male or female or whatever. Yet, we all have a little bit of different look, which is cool, right? When you think about it, created in God's image, and yet He's sewn us together with bones and able to feel. That's a blessing. We didn't even have to be born. He didn't even have to let not me or you or whoever be born, right? But we get to feel. Yeah, you might break a bone and it hurts, and it heals. Think about what God is doing. He has knitted our bones together. Think how powerful that is. Right? We get to be knit together. You gave me life. God gave us life. We went from a spirit out in the universe to actually being physically born. Physically born. He showed us kindness just in that for us to be born, right? And in your providence, and providence we know is like worlds, lands, things like that in general, right? And washed over my spirit. So as I have talked about in the past, and you've heard others, think about it. We get angry, upset, or we go to our drugs. God, even in our worst times, right? And He's watching over your spirit. So even before you stepped into church or you stepped out of a church because of a church, the teaching or belief or, those kind of discussions that pastors already talk about, He's still watching over you. So to kind of give you a background, my personal experience, even on my on again, off again, doing drugs or alcohol or whatever, yes, I partly did them to hide from the problems and numb myself. But there was another part that the reason I know I did drugs, it wasn't just because of worldly it was my, I guess I don't want to repeat it in a different wording, but not hiding from the problems, but like a relaxation. So we know, like, we go out to the bars with a group of people, even before you get so drunk, you lose, you get stupid, you fight, or do whatever, right? And that's because we're so drunk, we did not control it. We fell for the drunkenness and the evil. As we learn as walking in God's word, right? When you come to that mindset. But He's still watching over you. But also for me, like, when I did like the worst of drugs, like doing meth, I did it because it really wasn't hiding from the problems at that time. There was a period in my life where even though I was in the church, like many of y'all, I've always believed, even from a kid, even though I never really went to church. Long story short, there was a period of time when I was down here in Texas when I came back. So I'm 40 now. And this was recent, fairly recent, about 3 years ago, about 4 years ago max. I did the meth because I wanted to stay up. I wanted to keep going, like I've mentioned. So that was my reasoning. I was thinking I can keep going, run the detail shop. As y'all know, I don't right now currently drive or have a license. So, I got to walk to the store, walk back. That was my reasoning. Was it in the end wrong? I realize now I want to be sober. I want to be sober for y'all. I want to be sober for myself, for God, and all of those. Like, I know in my mind, in my world, what truly being sober, dealing with the problem is. If I'm exhausted, I'm exhausted. That project don't get done, it's going to be okay. I will finish the project or get it done when it's meant to be done. So that was my reasoning. No excuses. None at all. That was my reasoning behind it. So, but during that, God was still watching over my spirit. And the reason, because I felt lost. I got more into, like, pornography. I got more into going down the wrong track. More than I ever had before. Not the normal... Okay, I'm not going to say normal, because that's a bad term. The average rebellion for anybody. I'm not just talking about drugs, but, hanging with the wrong crowd. And not just a random here and there, like, hey, I'm doing really good. It's once or twice a year. It became a little bit more frequent. But in that, God was still watching over my spirit during that time, because I was also taking a break from finding a church, finding a good family, because I had all this, especially those that know me, I had a lot of this when I was in Michigan. And, right? But I took a break because I felt lost. Like, I'm trying to do all these things. I'm trying to build my credit score so I can get a place. I have a record of a felony, so a lot of places deny me. And those that are in that situation, y'all know what I'm talking about. So, not even depression. I was getting stressed out of chasing all these pieces. Even outside of past businesses, I still wanted to be successful. I still wanted to do good for myself. But I hid behind the drugs, hanging around the wrong crowd. But behind the scenes, what a lot of people don't know that I started to do is I created a personal business plan. I was getting high, but I also took a break from that world, those things, Did I miss it? Yes. I took a break from everything, but I was always praying to God. More or less, I wasn't mad at God. Like, kind of like Job kind of got upset, but Job was still defending God and watching over his spirit, right? Even around his friends. And that's my favorite part, that spirit. So in my walk, this wording, especially verse 12, let me repeat it again. You gave me life and showed me kindness. And in your providence, wash over my spirit. And the reason why is God did such amazing things. One of these days, I wish I can explain it. I don't even know how to. But he stopped. He put a major, major stop to a lot of things. And gave my spirit more strength, more understanding, more knowledge than I can even fathom, or blessing, whatever you want to call it, faith. It gave me way more than I dared to expect, even during those 3 years. But during that time frame, I was also praying to God when I'd be walking to the store to go get even a little bit of groceries at CVS or the Dollar General or whatever. I was kind of like, I feel like kind of like Job, like, but thankful at the same time. Like, God, what am I doing wrong? I wasn't mad at him. I was mad within myself. Not even so much a depression. Because I was stressed out at myself. It's like, I'm trying to create this, try to have one good career without burning myself out, because my dad, bless his heart, told me before I left Michigan, Steven, stop burning yourself out at both ends of the candle. So I tried. And I was trying to do that. So instead of having 2 jobs, plus this, plus that, and burn myself out on every end, I was trying to slow down, and I was trying to figure it out. And God was hearing my prayers more than I knew. More than I dared know. And he watched over my soul, my spirit. So sometimes even during our worst times, or you walk away from church, I don't think we can really get mad at God. I think more we get mad at ourselves, not even society. Because I've outside of money, my idea, even though I didn't grasp the full concept, from Michigan until now, even when I'm doing these videos, like, I knew I wanted to be wealthy, a little bit healthier, trying to balance life. And those that know me, there's some that know me very, very well that will watch this, and I use that word back in the day, that word balance. There's balance, there's balance. I preached it, but I did not walk it. I thought I knew, but now I know. Like I said, if I don't get a project done, I don't get it done. I will get to it. I might get part of it done. I might not just sit there 3-4 hours straight working on one project anymore. I know I gotta rest and not keep going, or use drugs to keep me up and going to get that project done. So I was mad within myself because I wanted to know what I was missing from God. I'm like, God, why do I feel like the worst person? I prayed to him so many times. God, why do I feel so bad? I see everybody doing this and that, and they got the trailers or their house or their credit, and I knew they all took work, but it felt like everything I kept trying to do like anybody else. It's like I got to do it 3-4 times harder than anybody else. Same thing with my license. Now I take fault where my faults are in that, whether it's something I said or did wrong. But at the same time, I felt like the worst person. Like, what have I done so wrong to deserve to be pushed back and pushed back? Like, I do what people ask of me. I'm trying to fix this. I'm trying to apply. I'm trying to do this. I think I could go out, I have a couple beers, come home, relax, go back to work the next day. But it's always like, not just a normal, regular problem, but it felt like problems, the same problem that y'all have, whether it's credit score, whether there's this, or you got a felony and you're trying to get a living. It's like I had help and I was trying to apply everything. I was trying to apply this knowledge from what I read, plus apply life experience, plus the Christian, like, I was so lost. So yeah, I took a break. And I think sometimes even if you walk away from the church or you walk away from God, you're not really walking away from him, or he walks away from you. He knows exactly what you're doing, especially when they say do everything out of love. I did it out of love for myself, for others, because I had to figure it out. I needed a deep understanding of things. Like, Lord, how do I take care of myself and take care of others? Which, when you're watching over your spirit, I think that's another thing we pray over going into our spouses or our co-workers. Because even though some people have that aspect of, get it done, you need to get it done. Do it this way, do it that way. And then you get stressed out, I am doing it this way. And then you're like, it comes out in the heat of the moment, right? But it's like, you're not really like fighting against your coworker, your best friend and all that. Even after that heat of the moment with whoever it is, whatever the reason is, I deeply believe that sometimes we're not so much, when we walk away from it and have your cooling down period, we're not so much frustrated at that person. We're more frustrated within ourselves because we know that they mean well, even though they yelled at us or had a tone. It's a big misunderstanding. But then what I'm also saying, you're not mad at them. You're more mad at the situation, plus you're mad within yourself because you feel like you're doing what they're asking of you out of kindness, right? That he stitched you out of kindness. So you're trying to do everything out of love, right? We're trying to do everything out of kindness and love. And also, you want to make yourself happy, but you're trying to make them happy. You're trying to find that balance. And I think sometimes it's hard, especially in our 20s and 30s, even right before we're 40, when you think you understand yourself and I'm a teenager, I know everything, moving on your own. Then you do that. Then you're 30, say you think you got it, and you still go through struggles. You're like, what am I doing so wrong? And that's how I felt. And if y'all ever there, don't be afraid of sometimes, if it takes you a couple of years, don't be afraid of not dating for a while or working 2 jobs. Like, maybe just live off of 1 paycheck. Just chill. I can't urge you. Like, yes, y'all know I'm getting ready to chase other goals. And there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes sit down and create a game plan. You've heard successful and entrepreneurs. It's not just up in here. You got to write it down. As a matter of fact, I will, if I have it handy. Where is it at? If I have it handy, give me just a minute. Yes. So, right here, see? Stephen Dunn's Successful Plan. January 17, 2022. So, Monday I will make this available to y'all. But, yes, I have done that. And there's a lot of biblical in here. You know why I also believe in the Bible, like you guys said, you have heard me say? Look outside. But then those that know, no matter what walk or what quote-unquote religion you come from, when you start reading the Word and you start to apply it, yes, you're still going to go through struggles. I still do. I'm not a perfect Christian by any means. I would love to be, but we know there's always going to be some kind of struggles. And God doesn't promise everything to be perfect. But through God's work, it also ties into His kindness. He watches over your spirit. He knows that you're trying. And He might bless you with whatever you're asking for. Whoever in your life, whatever's going on, whatever you need. It might not be 6 months. Everybody's timing is different. And that goes into a whole nother topic. Like, there's a lot of series we can start doing off of this. It's going to be all in, due time. And so, yeah, but Job, watch over your spirit. So, I apologize about that. So, yeah, we're stitched. So, as our bones are stitched, think about age too, right? Your spirit, your bones, our minds, our everything is stitched from the day we're born till it's our time to depart and go back to the spiritual realm. We are spiritual and physical together. That is a blessing. So imagine just being strong spiritually, right? So think about our ages. He stitches you together in your 20s. And you're stronger in your 30s. You wonder why the gray and the wise. It makes sense. When you start studying and understanding the Bible and opening your eyes to things, it starts to become a major, major blessing. So thank you all guys again for joining. And stay tuned for the subjects. I will try and post a little bit more. Again, sometimes it happens. So don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button below. And we'll see y'all in the next video.